Hey everyone, it is Board Bob and we are back. Imagine everybody's been wondering where I've been. I took a bit of time off. Like I had said, mentioned in the last video, summer camp is coming up and it has started this week. So I was a bit busy prepping for that and getting everything that I needed together to go ahead and start teaching classes for summer camp. Which has officially started at this point. It doesn't look like my work schedule is going to be too heavy for that, so I should be able to bang out some videos during that time frame. Um, but in running up to that, I got a little busy. And another thing that kind of waylaid me as far as making these videos is another big event, at least for me, is that the Fun Pimps dropped the Alpha 16 update for 7 Days to Die. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with 7 Days to Die. It's a survival crafting zombie game, and I highly recommend it. It's still in the alpha stages, so it's still under development, and it does have a few bugs. And right now the Alpha 16 is the experimental version, so it does have some problems. But I've been playing it now for probably the last, I guess 10 updates at least, and they're getting better with it all the time, and I can't recommend it enough. So I was a little tied up with that for this last week because it came out last Friday, and I kind of got waylaid. Um, However, in the meantime, one of the things that I told you guys that I would do off camera, just not to, drive you guys nuts watching me try to kill biters, um, is I did go ahead and push the biters back around the base. You'll see all of these little white squares. These are all gun turret placements that I pushed these guys back. As you can see, I pushed them all the way back past this oil deposit over here and this tiny oil deposit up here, and then I pushed them back in the corners and stuff. Eventually what I'll do is I'll link all of these up and I'll expand my perimeter wall, and run the guns out further, but that's going to require us producing a heck of a lot more guns and a heck of a lot more ammo. So for the time being, I'm just going to leave these outposts, and that should hopefully keep most of the new bases from spawning too close to us, except for maybe a few nuisances here and there. But the big thing was to get them kind of out of our pollution zone, which most of them are at this point. They're a little close over here, and to get them away from this oil patch, because we want to start working with petroleum. So that is our plan for today, is we are going to get this petroleum production going, because as you can see, we are quickly running out of iron down here. In fact, there's another one that just played out a little bit ago. This one's got 12 left and it'll play out, so we might as well just let that wind down, and we'll pick all this belt up. That's just going to leave us this little tiny patch here, which is going to play out pretty quickly. We still have this patch up here, which is supplying, our odds and ends up here, our steel production, etc. Our coal, we're still looking fine on coal. It's definitely this iron production. Up there we go. It is done. So let's go ahead and pick that up and get rid of this belt. We don't need it anymore. We might as well just get rid of it. We'll get rid of the splitter as well. No sense in having it there, and slowing the works down when the reality is it doesn't need to be. So there we go. So now We got a little bit of production coming in, but not very much. So this is going away. So we need to really start working on getting out to these iron patches. And what we need for that desperately is a little bit better weaponry than just the gun turrets. So we want to start working on lasers. And in order to get lasers, we need batteries, which means we need plastic. And in order to get plastic, we got to have oil. So that's what our push for today is going to be. We're going to build some pump jacks. Of course, as you remember, way over here, I set up pipe production, so we've got plenty of pipe. What I think I'm going to do as far as oil production, because it does take a fair amount of space for all your fluid production, and you need water once you get advanced processing too, and a few other things. So this is really kind of, if you look at the map, this is our only real local source of water is right over here. The rest is way over here. So what I think I'm going to do is we'll go ahead and let this coal run and continue to empty this coal out, but we'll start planning on using this whole area down here for our fluid production. So one of the things we're going to do, and we'll do that right now, is that we're going to move this belt over. We're gonna bring it down the other way and shift that L so that it will go the other way and kind of get out of our way a bit. So let's go ahead and do that right now and get it going, get it out of our way. One less thing to have to deal with once we start running pipe over here. So yeah, so camp has started this week. I ended up with a lot fewer students than I expected, unfortunately. Just, you know, that's kind of the way it works out, you know, the economy being what it is and stuff, you know, things happen. But you know, I got 3 students enrolled in the class, and they really seem to like it. And you know, we got a good plan for a movie, so I think we're gonna have a good time with it. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just pull that out of there and let that coal get up here. But then I'm gonna let this chew up this little bit of coal that's left here, because I guarantee you this is going to empty pretty quickly, because we are really using a lot of power. And right now our power is coming just from the steam power plant, from the steam engines, and as you can see, it's moving along pretty good. So this is going to empty pretty quickly, and once it does, we'll connect this and we'll get rid of this line. That way we're not picking up a bunch of junk coal and having to carry it around and try and get it inserted back into the system. So we'll just let it play itself out right like that. All right, so what do we need for fluid production? Well, first thing we're going to need, of course, is we're going to need pump jacks to get it out of the ground. And then we're going to need storage tanks, and we're going to need a refinery. In addition to that, though, we're going to need a way to power the pump jacks so that they can pump everything out of the ground. So it is time to start looking at making our large poles. We researched. Oh, speaking of which, we got to set research. We researched, you know, our better power distribution. So the time has come to start building poles. Now we don't need a huge, one of these huge packet standardized factories. We really only need one pumping out each, because we're only going to fill a chest at most at a time. But what we need for those larger poles is we need steel plates and we need copper plates. So I figured I'd put them right in this area. And I don't know if you noticed, but as you can see, this buffer has completely filled. And even though our steel production, or our iron production, is a little slow over here, because you know we're really chewing into the ore, we're all the way up to here, and we're almost filled all the way down the line. We've started filling into some of these other ones. Some of them are completely filled. So we're right about filled here. We only have 2 more rows of chests to completely fill this line. And then that gives us a huge buffer for when we have these jumps in production. So that's working out real good, and we'll continue to do that. So let's go on up here, and we're going to set up 2 factories. We're going to set up one factory for our medium poles and one factory for our large poles. And of course, since these things only need 2 things, we're going to set them up using assembler 1s for now. Eventually we'll go back and we'll replace everything with assembler 2s or assembler 3s just to speed things up at some point. But for now, I'm not going to get too crazy about it. I'm not going to worry about it. We don't really need to. So I'm going to pick off of this steel line, and I'm just going to pick off of it because it's not going to really affect our production too much to do so. And then we'll branch off of that copper line and bring it down. So let's throw one here, make a space so we have a space to put a pole in there if we need to, and put another one down. Alright, so now we need a splitter to come down here with this copper. There we go. We'll bring the copper down. There we go. So inserter, there's our copper, there's our steel plate. One pole covers all of that, plus the factories. Right there. We're gonna have to connect it somewhere, obviously. And now we just need something to put them in, right? I wonder. You know what? Let's do this. Let's save the space, and let's use it just off this one pole, and let's do it this way. If we do it there, and we put that other factory right there, oops, we don't even have to go that far apart, do we? We just need box inserter, right? Yep. So 1 space, 2 spaces, boom, right there. All right, so now what we can do is we can bring our copper in, we can bring our steel plate in, we can bring our poles out, and we put one there and one there. Tell this one to make medium poles, tell this one to make large poles, and there we go. So now we got our poles started. Let's go ahead and run power. So where are we going to pick off power from? I guess we'll just pick it off from this coal field over here. It's probably going to be the most convenient spot to do it from. There we go. So now we are in the overhead distribution business. And like I say, this is not going to really see any kind of an influence on this line, since we're not really picking any other steel plate off. In order to fight the biters, I did have to make a couple of sets of armor, and of course, you know, we're making armor piercing rounds, but they're pulling off way back here, so we're not even going to really see an effect down the line there. All right, so that gets our poles going. So now we can run power out there. We've got pipe, we got elbows so that we can go to ground and go underground to bring it back here, because since we don't have a wall out there, we really can't go above ground. We want to go below ground and give the biters as little stuff to go out there and beat on as we can. So the only other thing we need now to get it back to us is we need pumps. So what do we need for pump jacks? We need steel plates, iron gears, electronic circuits, and pipes. And we have all of those in hand. I went and looked at the map, and if memory serves me right, it looks like there's about 15 total. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and the one over there, so 15. So we really only need 15 pump jacks to get us started. So we don't need to go ahead and set up a production line right now. Down the road, we're not going to really need one either, because they changed the recipe. You don't need pump jacks anymore for the science, and I think they changed it to drills. So we won't even have to worry about that. So let's go ahead and just set this up for pump jacks. Put a bunch of iron in, we'll put a bunch of gears in, we'll put a bunch of pipes in, and then it needs how many? It needs 5. So we said 15, so that's 50, 75. So there's 40. And there's, let's see, that's 40. How are we going to do this? We'll put this down here. And back up there. And 40 is 65. And what's that? That's 75, right? Yep, there we go. Sometimes I wish they would stay split up here. Other times I'm glad that they stack. It's, you know, it is what it is. But we'll go ahead and let that cook and get those pump jacks out. I've already grabbed lights. I've already grabbed pipe. I've got belts if we happen to need them out there, which we won't right now. I grabbed some turrets and I grabbed some walls, because what we'll do is we'll just wall in that area out there. We're definitely going to need to pick up some ammo. Unfortunately, because of fighting the biters, I exhausted my bit of stockpile of ammo, so it's going to take a little while for that to catch up. But we'll grab what's there, which is to say not very much right now. What are you waiting on? Oh, steel. Why are you waiting on? Oh, okay. Because I was doing it through a chest over here, so I need to put all this steel in there so that can get started again, and then I need to grab up a bunch of steel. Alright, no problem. We'll just grab a bunch of steel and throw it in that chest just to have it. There we go. Yeah, I wasn't paying too much attention to the supply part over here because, you know, like I said, eventually we're going to move this, but I was more concerned with fighting those biters. So, you know, this will catch up to itself, but we're going to need some for tanks and for the tank storage tanks. So let's go ahead and grab some of this up. All right, so while our pump jacks are building and while our poles are building, the next thing we want to look at building is we want to look at building tanks, because we're going to need to have storage tanks to be able to hold this stuff. So storage tanks require iron plate and steel plate. Well, we got steel plate. We just need to go down here and grab some of this iron plate. So let's grab some of this iron plate off this belt. That should give us enough to get us started on our tanks. And we'll just throw down another assembler and tell it to build us some tanks. And let's see, let's do 100 and 100. Let's see what that gives us. And you know what? Let's make this easy on ourselves. Put a chest here. Whoa, there we go. Okay, so like I said, that coal was gonna play itself out, and it did, and shut down everything. So let's go over here real quick and get our power running again. And then we can get rid of that belt. So here we go. That goes there. That goes there. We get rid of this. And we'll still have to go up and put coal in one of those real quick just to keep our power going, just to get it started back up. That is one of the advantages of the of the coal inserters, the coal-fired inserters, is that they go ahead and fuel themselves. The burner inserters, I think, is what they refer to them as. But you know, it is what it is. I'll just deal with it real quick. There we go. So now we got our power going. Just throw a few pieces of coal in there, so now that'll get going again. All right, so we got power back up. Luckily, we don't have laser turrets up yet, and we don't have a biter issue yet. Fairly soon, we're gonna, now that we got once we have oil on the way and we start getting plastic batteries and this and that and the other, we're going to start working on solar cells and accumulators on top of everything else, and we will start seeing a drop in our coal power and our steam power usage. Eventually, we may go nuclear power, or we may just stick with solar. Once we start building railroads and stuff, we're going to have more solar than we know what to do with. All right, so we have tanks building. How many did that give us? That gave us 5, huh? Let's do a bit more. We need more than that. So let's just let that run. So that gives us our pump jacks. That gives us our electric poles. That gives us our tanks. The only other thing we need at this point is we need a refinery, and we need a chemical plant, which we can build in our blue factories or our assembly 2s, but the refinery requires 5 items, and unfortunately the blue assembler 2s will only take up to 4 items, so we are kind of stuck. Right now we can't go, so we have to build this refinery. This should be our last build by hand. Everything after this we should be fine. We should be able to build it in factories. So this is going to take us from 109 to 110, because we'll just grab everything else we need, which looks like the only thing we still need is 10 stone bricks. And we're only going to build one of these, because once we've got one of them going, we can start making plastic and what have you, and then eventually that will allow us to, make more of the yellow level 3 assemblers, and we can go from there. So what was it that we needed again? We need stone brick. So let's go over here to our stone. Excuse me. Actually, you know what? I think we have some down in storage already. So let's not take it out there. Let's take it out of here anyway. So there we go. There's 20. Oh, excuse me. I was eating a Snickers, and I guess I got a bit of it stuck in my throat there. Sorry about that. All right, so now I believe we have everything we need to craft one of these. We're not going to have to worry about crafting anything else. We are going to craft one and done, and that will be it. I wish at that point you could somehow go into the system and turn off handcrafting so that you don't make any mistakes, but I don't think you can do that. I don't think there's any way to do that. I wish there was, because that way it would, keep me from doing stupid things like making myself build stuff in hand. All right, so here we go. Oil refinery. Build one. Get out of that. You know what? And to prevent ourselves from accidentally doing it, let's put the rest of these bricks back. Let's get rid of them. So, let's see. So there we go. There's our refinery. We are at 110. We can screw up one more time and still do it, but I'm hoping we don't screw up at all. So that gives us a refinery, and by now we should have enough stuff to go over here and grab it and start running our petroleum back here. And I think it's probably all we're going to get done this time around, is we're going to get our petroleum run and get it started. So let's grab, let's grab 100. And let's actually limit this to 4 stacks for now, because we have such a problem right now with our supply issues. So let's go 50, and we'll wait till this gets to 50, and then we'll limit that to 4 stacks as well. There we go. And we'll grab that. There we go. So now we got 100 of each. Let's see. We got 6 so far. I didn't have it put it in anything, so it stopped. All right. Well, needs more pipe. Do we want more pipe? There's more pipe. All right. And how much do we got? We got 11 tanks. I think that should probably do us for now on tanks. So let's go ahead and pick this up, because we won't need it for now. Let this finish out. And we'll just let these ones cook and finish filling these back up, because we're going to use out of here on a fairly regular basis now anyway. What are we missing now? We're missing gears. I just want to run this until we're out of green circuits. In theory, that should give us a total of 15 pump jacks, and then we'll be able to go ahead and hit all of those oil patches at the same time. Oh, excuse me. 13, 14, last one. So there we are. There's 15. All right, so we'll go ahead and pick that up now. One of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here and I'm going to grab some grenades, and then any additional ammo that's laying over here that I can take with. I'm grabbing the grenades so that I can do some explosive horticulture if I need to. In order to have a place to sit these pump jacks up in. So there we go. That should give us plenty of grenades to do some grenade fishing if we need to, and take some trees down if we need to. We don't need these assemblers right now. We don't need the mines right now. We don't need the splitters. No sense carrying all of that stuff up there if we don't need it. Belts, we don't really need the belts. We don't need the undergrounds. We definitely don't need the iron and the wood, and the gun turrets we want, and that should, you know what, let's go ahead and get rid of the extraneous stuff. Alright, so I think that should set us up for success. I believe that's everything we need to get out there. Alright, so let's go all the way over here to the edge and look at where we need to go with this. Our last bit of power inside the compound is right up here at this coal patch, so we're gonna pick off from the coal patch and start going out there long with those. So if we go pretty much straight across where I've kind of got this already cut through, we can bring that all the way straight back. We may have to clear some trees here, so let's shoot for right about there. So we want to come out with our power line somewhere right around here. And like I say, let's do some explosive horticulture, because, you know, we have it, and why not, right? After all, it's explosives, right? Do you need any other reason? I'm trying not to get too close that I damage the walls, but at the same time, faster I can get rid of it, the happier I am. So why not? Plus, it's fun to blow stuff up, right? There we go. All right. And why have it if you're not going to use it? I guess I could go into business around here as an explosive tree trimmer, huh? There we go. Alright, that should do us. So that should give us a line all the way out there. So let's go ahead and close this gap in the fence up. Let's get our first big electric pole into the system here. Alright, there we go. And then go out here and close this fence up. And we're going to try and run this right, like I say, right through this area here, and we're going to keep the poles and the pipeline kind of co-located as best we can, so kind of along the same straight line. So there we go. So let's head on out to where our oil is, and hopefully no biters have come back and set up camp anywhere around here. Up. Did I miss? Oh, I missed. Oh well, that's okay. It's hard to tell on the small map, but you know, we got it. There we go. Dang it. Oh, well, we're close enough though, because it's right in here. So this, like I said, this is where I got to clear all this out. I didn't see any point in clearing this by hand, even with a shotgun. This is way cooler and way faster. So why not do it? Ooh, and I'm taking damage too. I'm standing a little too close. Oh well. Dummy. Nobody ever said I was smart, including myself. Alright, so let's see what we got here. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then one way down here, I guess, somewhere. There it is, 13. And is there one up here? Yes, it looks like there might be one up here. Maybe I got them all. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, I think I got all of them. We'll see when we put the pump jacks down. All right, so let's go ahead and start laying out our pump jack. You know what? Let's clear a little more here first, just for giggles, and because, like I say, we're going to want to wall this in anyway, just for security purposes. In fact, we may not even pick this one up right now. We really only need enough oil to get us started. So we may not even pick that oil patch up right now. I kind of want to keep the whole squares kind of thing going. I don't want all these irregular shapes, and biters getting caught up in corners and things like that. So let's maybe stick with what we got. There we go. Close enough. Now, if I had a flamethrower, which is one of the other reasons I want my oil production is so I can have a flamethrower, I could have just come out here, set all of this on fire, and walked away and let it clear itself, and then come back later, and picked it up and kissed some of the hidden worms and biters and what have you goodbye if there's any in the woods. But that's down the road. We will definitely be doing that at some point. All right, so let's get ourselves some pump jacks. So we got one. Okay, so here we go. Now we can count them. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So yeah, there were 14 of them here. All right, so like I say, I think I'm going to leave this one alone for now. I think I'm just going to concentrate on all these ones up here in this group. We'll come back and get that one later, when we have better facilities to do so. So we got one there. We got, let's see, 1, 2, 3. Those will line up nicely. We'll turn that one that way. We'll turn this one downward and just connect all of them in. This one and this one. Point these two down as well and connect them to these ones. I don't know if the game kind of takes into account how many are flowing into a single pipe and whether you start losing efficiency or not. I really kind of don't get that concerned about it. Generally speaking, once I get my oil going, I have enough of it that I don't have to worry too much about it backing up. So there we go. So that looks like all of the pump jacks. So let's go ahead and start connecting these puppies. And we're going to need that. Oh, you know what? We're going to end up needing some... Dang it. I didn't replace the pipe that I used when I built these things. Okay. Not a problem. We'll get what we can set up and we'll go from there. So let's go up here, and where are we going to bring our main line down from? Alright, so let's go over by here, and we're going to come in here and probably, alright, back this up a little. There. Alright, that should give us right in line with there. So I think we will probably come right there and bring that down to here. There we go. This will come over to here. Right there. Yeah, this can come down one more, can it? Oh, no, we can't do that. I wish we could. We can't. We need pipe for that. All right. So let's see. There to there. I'm just trying to save as much above ground pipe as I can, so that I'm not having to try and move over it as I go, or have to walk around it later or whatever. Oh, you know what? Come over one more. There. what? There ain't going to be any good way to fit that in there, is there? Oh, well. Yeah, we'll have to come off of that one and then go just like that. There we go. And pull that off of there. We'll just go over there with that with a straight pipe. I know that's kind of a waste too right here, but you know, at least I'll be able to walk through there if I need to. And that's kind of what I'm all about with doing this part of it, is I just want to be able to walk through it. You know what? I got plenty of pipe. I can always make more pipe if I need to. Yeah, there to there, and that gets us there, and then there to there, there to there. Right? So there's that. We'll just have to put a, I don't know, can we? No, that's only one space. Because I want to be able to put this one into it too, so we'll have to come over here with straight pipe. Alright, so if we come here to here, here to here, here to here, there we go. So that gives us that one connected, although we still need straight pipes. Those are set up to be connected with straight pipes. That's set up to be connected with straight pipes. We need to come off of this one. Here to here to there. That'll give us that with a straight pipe. That's a straight pipe. I don't know that we want to, I don't think I can fit one in there anyway, so there we go. Alright, so that gives us everything with the exception of power being turned on and the straight pipe that we need to connect it. So let's go ahead and connect that one, just to kind of give ourselves an idea of, is everything set up that we need to. Alright, so that one will come up there and go across. That one will come up there and go across. These ones will come up into this. This is all going to go up here. This one will cut into it. That's there. That's there. That's there. That'll cut over with a straight pipe. That's connected in. So there we go. So now we got to go back and get pipe. We got to go back and get straight pipe anyway. So we might as well just drag this pipe back with us as we go. Alright, let's clear some trees. There we go. Ta-da! Trees cleared. Aren't grenades great? We're going to leave it right there for now because we're going to have to figure out how to run it through the base. So let's get ourselves some pipes real quick. Let's get ourselves some straight pipe and get our wall set up and get at least a little bit of ammo in our guns. That should be plenty of straight pipe now. Where did we come through up here? Oh, there it is. Boom. I always try to close these up after me. I know with the amount of guns there that the biters aren't going to get through, but it can't hurt. Better safe than sorry, right? Man, I really need power armor so I can get augment my running speed here. But, you know, patience is a virtue, right? Alright, so here we go. Let's get our straight pipes in. So that comes down there. That's there. That's there. So that one's connected, that one's connected, that one's connected. The foot bone's connected to the... Oh. Alright, so there we go there. Elbow there. Connected, connected, connected. Connected there. That's connected, that's connected. So up, over, over, and up, over, over, and up, over, and up, over, and up, over, and up, over, and up. So it looks like everything's connected. Now, before we turn power on, let's get ourselves a bit of security, because as soon as we turn this on, it's going to start producing pollution and blah blah blah, and we don't want that. So let's kind of go ahead and figure out where we're going to sit these. In order to defend this stuff. So there's that. There's that. There's, oh. There, got that out of the way. I know some of these turrets are damaged. I'll go back with repair kits as soon as I get everything kind of laid out, and I will fix those turrets, and I'll get them all ammoed up, and etc., etc., etc. How did I miss? Okay, so there we go. So I think that will enclose us. I'm going to put one in between each of these. We'll see how much ammo we have. We may have to put a scant amount in them to begin with, and then go back and wait for it to build up and supply them some more. Oh, that's how I missed it. Dummy. Close enough, right? Yeah, close enough. So that should give us enough overlapping fire that if we build our 3-layer wall, we should be okay. Now, I'm not going to grenade these because there's no point in repairing my turrets and then damaging my turrets just to repair them again. It's kind of a waste. So we're just going to knock all this stuff down. Besides, we're getting a little low on wood for our production of stone, because if you remember, we've been feeding those furnaces out of chests with just our leftover wood. So you know, we'll have to refill them at some point anyway. We can just put this wood in there and be done with that. So let's go ahead and repair these ones, and then we will build our walls, and we'll get them ammoed up as best we can. Matter of fact, why don't we just start with that? Alright, so let's see what we have for ammo here. We got 2, 4, 6, 700, give or take. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So let's call it 50-ish a piece. I think should do us, right? Let's see if that works out. I may have done my math wrong here, but we'll see. I might have actually, might have almost done it right. We'll see. Close. If I didn't do it right, I'm close. What can I tell you, folks? Old brain. I ain't as young as I used to be, so I don't really think as well on the fly as I used to. So how many did we miss it by? 2. Alright, well, you know, close, right? We'll take the armor piercing and put it there. We'll repair that. So we got one that doesn't have any ammo in it, right? So let's 10. There we go. And we'll just throw 20 in there for now. Alright, so let's lay down our walls real quick. Ooh, okay. There we go. Because we'll be okay. They can shoot far enough for that. Hopefully we'll have enough to make it all the way around at least once. Oops. We won't if we do that, huh? Alright, there we go. Maybe we can make it a second one. I'd like to have this wall doubled up if I can. At least doubled up, if not tripled. I'd like to have it tripled, but, you know, I'll settle for doubled. For the time being, anyway. Alright, looks like we might be able to get triple out of it. Nope, almost, but not quite. Alright, so we'll just have to bring back some walls. Not a problem. We can do that easy enough. So now let's go on in here and get our power turned on. So, medium poles, and if we put one here, that covers all of those. We can come down here with a small pole and cover him. And then go back to the medium poles and put a medium pole there. And can we plop a small pole down between them? Plop a small pole there. Can we put a medium pole here, maybe? Yes, we can reach that with a medium pole. Hit that one with a small pole. Hit that one with a small pole. Right? And then we'll just pull right out of the center. Yeah, we'll go right there. How far up can we go with this? Can we make it all the way that far? What do you know? There we go. All right, so let's put our wall back. And then bring this over. And boom. So looky there. Looks like all of them are running. Oh, we need to put some wall back there too, don't we? Alright, there we go. While we're over here, I just spotted that those ones are damaged over there. Let's run over there and fix them real quick. This is kind of our early warning system for when they're coming over, so let's make sure they're good to go. Alright, so we're going to have to bring some more poles over, or not some more poles, some more walls over, and we're going to have to eventually bring some more ammo and some more guns over. But for now, it looks like we have oil all the way back to the base. Woot woot! So that brings us our oil all the way back to this wall. Now we have to just figure out how to route it down through our base. And I think the easiest way to do that is probably going to be to cross this wall and then just bring it down and around. So let's go ahead and make ourselves some room. Come back over here. See how far we can get. Nope, we can't get far enough. So put it right there, and right there. There we go. So let's replace our wall. And let's turn and go down. I just want to leave. I'm just leaving myself a little bit of space. I know it's going to conflict later when I build my other factories down here for the engines and stuff, but that's okay. For now, I just want to get it down and over to where it needs to go. If we need to move it later to make it a little more convenient, we will. So space, boom, there's that, there's that. All right, so that gets us over into this area. And if we wanted to, because this is kind of dead space down here, I mean, we can put small individual factories and stuff down here. If we wanted to, we could actually take advantage of this space and run our storage tanks right down here. Why don't we do that for... I'm going to have to think about that. We'll see. But I may run the storage tanks right down here and just make a row of crude tanks. But maybe not, because I know we're going to bring trains and stuff in. So, but for now, let's just get it up here and get it stored and so that we can start filling storage tanks up. And then we can start worrying about getting our oil refined. So, we got 11 tanks. Let's go ahead and line them up. We know this is going away, so eventually we can take advantage of that space. So let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many we got left? 6. 1, 2. That gives us 4. Yeah. Alright, so there we go. That gives us our storage coming in. We're going to want to go break that line there and break it there. There we go. Now they should start filling up. Yep, there we go. Ain't that pretty? Are we lined up right? Yes, we're lined up right. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so all of these should start filling up and taking advantage of our supply out there. So now, where are we going to want to put our refinery? And I think what we're probably going to do is because we're going to eventually make more refineries. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to set it up with our refineries kind of down here and then feeding up into our processing plants. So for this first one, I know that eventually I'm probably going to do a second row of tanks. So that's the grass here. We don't want to go closer than that. So let's go this side of this grass, give ourselves a little working room, come up even with the tanks as far as the input goes, and let's plop her down right there. And then let's pipe that sucker in, right? So we got here to here to here to here. Bada bing, bada boom. So now all that needs is power and to be told what to do. So basic oil processing. So we're going to get out light oil, heavy oil, and what you call it? Why can't I think of the name of it right now? Carbon gas or whatever it is. I don't remember, the name of it off the top of my head. I don't know why right now. So anyway, we got 4 tanks. We can go ahead and just lay out a couple of tanks for right now and start getting this production into here. I just want to get it started. We will clean this up. I want to, we'll come up with a good design for kind of bringing these out, and we'll move these tanks around. I just want to get it started into the system right now, so that I can start pulling off for things like my engines and fuel for flamethrower, and a few other things like that. So there we go. Let's just throw them down. We will move this around later because we're going to have to build a rail station to bring oil and stuff in anyway. This bringing it all the way across country with pipes ultimately is not going to be the solution. But for now, it works. So let's see, can we fit that there? And almost, but not quite. Alright, fine. Where can we get close enough? Here. Alright, fine. We'll just bring it right there. Alright, so now we should be getting all of our... Oh, that's what it is. Petroleum gas, not carbon gas. Duh. Alright, so now we're starting to fill up our petroleum gas, we're starting to fill up our light oil, and we're starting to fill up our heavy oil. So that'll give us all of those. So we've got our basic petroleum running now. Now let's go look and see what the pollution looks like over here. Yeah, see, so that I knew that was going to expand out the pollution. We're probably going to start getting some biters come in here and harassing us. So we're going to want to get our guns set up out there. These outlying guns will keep us okay for a little while. But ultimately we're going to want to connect all the way over, at least that far, probably all the way out to these outlying guns. Might as well square it off, because we'll start having better firepower very soon. But that will do us for now. Like I say, I have camp going on this week. I'm going to try and get some videos posted, even though camp is going on, but I can't really make any guarantees in that regard. we'll kind of have to play it by ear and see how it goes. But in the meantime, there we go. And see, we're almost filled up on this. This is working out nice, even though we're really draining the swamp over here, as it were, with all of this iron production. Oh, there's another coal one that's out. We'll pick it up, get rid of that. Takes maybe some of the load off of our electrical system. Let's see how it is now that we add a refinery. Well, we're doing all right. We're not doing bad. So let's do our quick cleanup. And next video, we will start looking at getting our final organization for our petroleum plant. I just wanted to get it started today so we can start getting some reserves. We never did start research, so what are we going to do for research? We wasted that whole time and we didn't research anything. So let's go ahead and get some research going and get it knocked out. So we finished mining productivity. Next one we need blue science for. We can start doing modules. We can start looking at modules because that will open up modular armor for us, which is kind of what we want, because eventually we want to get exoskeletons. Yeah, let's do modules. I mean, it's not like I could sit here and do all of these probably pretty quickly, because it's only 100 for most of them anyway. So let's just go ahead and let that cook while we're cleaning up this real quick. But anyway, that's what we got, guys. And like I say, I'm might be tied up with camp and stuff, so I might not get to the videos, but I'm going to give it a try. And there we go. I will probably go up and take some walls back and take some more ammo up there off camera and get those guns out there all fed properly. And the other thing I forgot to put out there, I just realized, is lights. So we are going to want to run some lights out there too, because we don't want to work in the dark, right? All right, so there we go. You guys have a safe week, a good week. If you found this interesting, you know the whole deal. Like, share, subscribe. Tell your friends, tell your family, what have you. All right, have a good one. Bye.